Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well folks, the DNC is at it again. The establishment DNC machine is out here once again, attempting to gaslight the public into believing that Trump is somehow faltering or somehow failing. They just can't play the game fair. It's unbelievable, actually. It's crazy how corrupt, entitled, and delusional the DNC establishment is. They lost the public's trust because of all these ridiculous games that they play, not to mention all the bad policies. And so all they have to do is regroup, gather up, fix their party, fix their platform and their messaging campaigns, and then promote something to the American people that, actually makes sense and people are on board with. But this, as we know, I guess, will never happen. The Democrats, for some reason, can't just play fair and play by the rules. No, it's always gotta be some sort of psyop. It's always gotta be an information warfare campaign. And so I guess they're doubling down on all the fake BS that got them in the unfavorable position that they're at in the first place. Again, instead of regrouping and getting their crap together, instead of attempting to create a grassroots counter movement, apparently what they're doing now is paying protesters to pretend to be Trump supporters and attend these events in order to sow chaos and discord and pretend as if the MAGA base is revolting against Donald Trump. In other words, the same strategy that failed in the 2024 election, paying actors to be part of this whole #Republicans for Harris nonsense. Yep, they're doubling down on yet again another frickin' psyop. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so like I said, the Democrat Party is the party of Hollywood. Everything they do is staged or paid for.
Nobody loves going to a Republican town hall meeting like crazed liberal Democrat activists. I have no doubt they are their constituents, but these people are they hated Donald Trump before, they hate Donald Trump today, and they're professional complainers when it comes to Republicans. Look, I guess you could take any of these conversations seriously, and the way to handle it is to stand up there and calmly and clearly explain that we've inherited a mess. The American people have entrusted the Republican Party to get us out of the mess. It's going to take a lot of work to get us out of the mess. And here's what we're doing to do that. We're going to fix immigration. It's already happening. We're going to unleash American energy. That's going to be part of the reconciliation bill. We're going to have less chaos in the world. And that's what Donald Trump's trying to do by negotiating an end to the war in Ukraine and get the Middle East under control. I mean, the Republican priorities are not complicated and they're very clear. But let me just tell you, having been to many of these town hall meetings over a 25-year career in politics, a lot of the people that show up at these things are there because they're committed partisan activists, not because they wandered in because they had some concern. I don't doubt that they are actual constituents, but if you think somebody that showed up with a hand-painted sign at a town hall meeting came in undecided, I got news for you. It just doesn't work that way.
Scott Jennings is absolutely right. These people aren't Trump supporters who are turning on Donald Trump. They're seething leftoid activists. We don't call them out-of-touch elitists for no reason. Because they are, and frankly, they act like, billionaire trust fund kids who just throw money at every problem that they encounter. They're the most spoiled and entitled people on the planet. Donald Trump has amassed great popularity. He's created a grassroots movement and convinced millions upon millions of Americans to support him. He won a majority of the popular vote. He won a landslide election. And the Democrat response is, let's not try to do the same thing. No, let's just pay people to make it seem as if he's unpopular. Hey, you homeless person around the corner, put this Make America Great Again hat, and then record a TikTok video about how disappointed you are of Donald Trump's performance. It's so freaking cringe. It's so fake. They are the fakest, elitist, out-of-touch people on the planet. And it's crazy how they're repeating with this stuff because this was part of their undoing in the last election, like I was saying earlier. Trump had a real grassroots movement. He shows up at UFC and the freaking roof gets blown off the damn venue. He hosted massive rallies across the nation with huge showings because people actually wanted to be there. There was genuine support for him. And then, of course, Democrats on the flip side, they took the Hollywood route, right? If you can't actually convince the people to vote for you, or really if you're not interested in convincing people genuinely with real good policies and track record, if you can't actually pull a crowd to a venue, then just promise a Beyonce concert that's going to be totally free, paid for by the Kamala Harris campaign, and then have 30,000 people show up and there you got the same headline. Kamala Harris pulls bigger crowd than Donald Trump, except it's totally fake, just like her little showing at the Primanti Bros in Pennsylvania, where the actual patrons who were there were removed from the establishment so that Kamala Harris could bus all of her supporters in, and then do that fake cringe event. to make it seem as if she really connects with the people, especially in Pennsylvania, a purple state that's got those common sense people. Oh, they just love Kamala Harris. Except they were all paid frickin' actors. Unbelievable. They pay for support and now they're paying for people to pretend as if they're Republicans that are just so frustrated with the Republican Party. That's essentially what Scott Jennings was referring to in that video, and he was actually talking about a claim that was made by Donald Trump. He posted this on Truth Social. Paid, quote, troublemakers are attending Republican town hall meetings. It's all part of the game for Democrats, but just like our big landslide election, it's not going to work for them. And I think he's right. I don't think any of this is going to work for them, because everything the Democrats do and say these days is just generally viewed as bad faith and dishonest. I mean, look at what's going on with these USAID audits and whatnot. And actually, speaking of USAID, I wonder if USAID money is funding these troublemaker efforts at Republican town halls. But anyways, let's not get caught up on that tangent. The point that I was making is everything the Democrats do these days seems to be deceitful or a lie. Donald Trump wants to ban IVF. No, he doesn't. Donald Trump wants to sign a national abortion ban. No, he doesn't. Donald Trump wants to end democracy on day one and be a tyrant. No, he doesn't. And by the way, what happened with that claim, right? Wasn't Donald Trump supposed to end the Constitution and elections as we know it? He's been president for a while. Shouldn't he be a dictator by now? Isn't Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez supposed to be in the freaking gulags? No, of course not, because everything they do is lie. Everything is a bullshit propaganda narrative or premise. Oh, and actually one of the worst and most dishonest arguments that we saw during the election was that Donald Trump wasn't for border security. He spiked the border security bill that Democrats were trying to pass. The border crisis wasn't Joe Biden's fault and the Democrats. No, it was Donald Trump's fault. Yeah, how did that age? Not so well, huh? As now Donald Trump takes office and border crossings go down over 90% nearly overnight.
I think Donald Trump is doing an amazing job so far on the things that he ran on, immigration. The border is, just his taking office, the border is effectively shut down. The attitude change from the federal government effectively closed the border. Look at the people coming across now. Look at the encounters today versus what was going on with Biden. I think on March 4th, you're going to hear them talk a lot about the success on immigration.
I guess it turns out that Congress didn't need to approve billions of dollars for Taiwan and Israel to secure the American southern border. No, all they had to do was their damn jobs. All that had to be really done was the president change his frickin' tone. And all of a sudden, the problem solved itself. But Democrats argued, again in bad faith, that they were the party of border security. And again, when you think they couldn't stoop any lower, when you think they couldn't be any faker, any more deceitful, well, they shock you once again now, don't they? Hakeem Jeffries is literally still pushing this talking point.
What we've seen from the Trump administration over the last several weeks is just a flood of unprecedented extremism and a parade of horribles that continue to be unleashed on the American people. While at the same time, the Trump administration is not focused on solving the problems of everyday Americans. We're continuing to make sure that we focus on trying to make life better for everyday Americans. Fundamentally, that's why we were sent to Washington, D.C. We have to drive down the high cost of living. We have to secure the border. We have to keep communities safe. We have to protect our dreamers and farm workers and families. These are the things that matter, as opposed to creating crisis-like moments when we should be coming together and demonstrating leadership for the free world.
Yeah, the Democrat Party is the party of border security. Yeah, okay, the party of open borders and no one is illegal and borders are racist and Donald Trump's a racist because he wants to expel illegal immigrants. Yeah, that's the party of border security, the party that oversaw the worst border crisis in American history. Yeah, they're the border hawks. Everything is fake, everything is bad faith, everything is a lie. They are the kings and queens, the CEOs of misinformation. Everything they do is fake, it's always a frickin' psyop, there's always a strategy to deceive and then benefit. And even after this disastrous 2024 loss, they continue down the same road. I don't know, it's the boy who cried wolf, the law of diminishing returns. The more you try doing the same thing over and over again, the more people start to wake up and catch on to your behavior, and the more your strategy falls apart. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.